Hi guys. So I've been a little quiet here because it's been some Easter holidays and I've just been relaxing a little bit. But I'm starting to get back to the guitar work again, and I just want to show you this pretty looking guitar here. Amazing contour or color of the flamed top here on this Les Paul guitar. This is my own guitar, by the way, and I've had it for a little over a year now, I think, and it's actually just been sitting in my guitar stand with a couple of my other guitars, and it's actually a shame because the neck is really comfortable on this guitar, and it's so easy to play this guitar. So I looked at it today and just thought, I'm just going to play it today, just revisit old friends, and I was surprised at how well this guitar actually plays, because it's been a while since I've played it. So that was a pleasant surprise, and that just made me, I just wanted to go over it and check that everything is as good as can be. This is, I would say, a couple of the guitars remaining in my arsenal that I haven't taken a good look at. I bought this guitar, and at the time it played as it should. But back then I didn't pay that much attention to fretwork and stuff like that. So when I played it today, I noticed that there was some major buzzing up around the second fret. At least that's where I located it to be. So I'm definitely going to work on this guitar, and I'm going to do a couple of videos, or maybe one whole video about it. And we're going to take a look at the fretboard and the pickup height, and basically just go about setting this guitar up so it can play even better, and hopefully without all the buzzing. But I just wanted to show you, this is the top and the finish, and it just looks amazing. Unfortunately, when I bought it, it had a little finish crack accident here from the previous owner, but I guess you could fill that in and just finish it up, and I'm probably going to do that at some point, just not now. As we move up the neck here, you can see that this is actually not a traditional Les Paul. This is in fact by a company called Tradition Guitars, which is based in Texas as far as I know, and I own a couple of their guitars. I own another Les Paul that they've made, and I own a Strat type guitar too, and I must say these guitars are amazing. There's a good quality of wood, and everything from the hardware to the pickups, it's quality. And I've basically picked up a lot of the Tradition guitars that I've seen when I searched through the internet and stuff like that, because I know they're quality guitars, and people often just sell them for really cheap because they don't know much about them. But these are really quality guitars, and their prices are very reasonable. So I really like this brand, and that's why I've kind of stuck to them for as long as I have. My main guitar for about 10 years or something like that has been the Tradition Stratocaster type guitar. So, and that's a really nice and easy to play guitar too. So I just wanted to show you what I was talking about here with the frets, that I actually had a high spot which was causing some nasty buzzing here. And as you can hear, this is the open string. Not as much here on the high E string, but if you go to the B string, this is open. You can really hear how the string is actually buzzing. And the same here for the G string. and that's really annoying, and it's a lot of bass. A guitar shouldn't have that much bass, and especially not here on the first frets here, because that is mainly where you play your bar chords and your open chords. So that just really annoys me, and it's the same for the so it's basically buzzing, and I just figured that, well, it's not the first fret here. The nearest fret to that is the second fret. So I just took my fret rocker here, as you've seen a couple of times now, and I just placed it on top of the first 3 frets here. And if you can hear that, that is major, seriously major rocking. And it's actually worst here in the middle section of the fret. But generally this whole fret is high, and that is what is causing the buzzing. But there's a couple of things that I have to look at and take into consideration, and I think that every guitarist or luthier should have this at mind when they suspect a fret being high. I can see with the fret rocker that this fret is rocking major, and I could just assume that I would just have to level the fret, and this is probably the case. But before you go ahead and do that, I always check to see if this fret or the first or the third fret here is actually lifted in any way, causing an unevenness within these 3 frets here. So you could just assume that the fret is high and just file away, and that might end up being okay. But if a fret has popped up a little bit, causing it to be a little higher than the other ones, then you would have to take proper care of it and not just file it away, because a lifted fret can easily become a loose fret. So this is just, I just have to take that into consideration and just check that before I go ahead and do the fret level. And I just suspect that I won't necessarily have to do a full fret level here. I can maybe get away with a little bit of spot leveling. So I hope that could be the case, or at least if the second fret here is not lifted and it's just high, then I could just spot level it and take a look at the rest of the frets to see if there are any major rocking like that. And if not, then when the second fret is being leveled, then I will no longer have no buzz on the guitar. So perhaps that is going to be an easy fix. So it would be nice for a change, but if I would say more than well, at least more than half of the frets, or a little bit less than that, are rocking majorly, then I would basically do a full fret level. It just depends. So this is the guitar that I'm probably going to show you guys a little while in a couple of videos, or in a standard video with just some recorded clips. And I just hope you will enjoy that, because I'm just excited to see what this guitar will actually play like when it gets a proper setup. So that is always very interesting, and it's always a joy to make a guitar play the best that it possibly can. So I'll just cut the video now, guys, and I'll probably get to do the second fret here in a little bit, and then I'll be back. So stay tuned for that, and if you like what I'm doing here on the channel, then just feel free to like my videos or subscribe, and even send me an email or a comment if you have any questions or anything like that. I'll be more than happy to help you out. And as I said, I just love what I'm doing, and it's nice to set up guitars. So for any of you out there, I'll see you in a bit, guys. Okay guys, so I'm back here, and I've just taken a look at the second fret here, and as I said, or as I suspected, this is not going to be as easy as I thought. Let me zoom in here on the first fret. As you can see, this fret looks as it should. No problem there. If I then go to the second fret here, you can see straight away that this fret has actually lifted in the middle, as opposed to this fret, the first fret here. There's no problem there, and there's no problem at the third fret too. But right there at the second fret, the fret has actually lifted. And if I just grab my feeler gauge over here and I just select a thin feeler gauge, then you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's just see here. We've got the second fret right there, and this is 0.002 inches, right? And I'm actually able to push that under, and I shouldn't really be able to do that. Right there. And that's basically not good. The first fret is looking good, no problem there. And the third fret is looking good too, no problem there. But the second has lifted up, and that's why it is actually causing the strings to buzz. And it also makes sense because if you recall, then it didn't really buzz that much here on the high E or the low E. So it makes sense for the fret to actually be lifted in the middle. So well, this is both good and bad, but good in that way that I can fix it and I can show you how to fix it. But bad in the sense of it's going to take a little bit of extra work to get it right. Well, luckily I actually have a fret press right here, and that might be able to solve the problem. But I just have to rethink this a little to make sure that I can do this the best way, or the optional way, to make this as good as possible and as flawless as possible. So I just want to show you that because it's going to be a problem, and it's just lifted too much. Yeah, it's just lifted too much. So we'll have to take a look at that. Of course, now that I have located a popped up fret, then I'm going to take a look at the remaining frets here to see if this is actually caused by the fret swelling up at some point and then shrinking back due to temperature or something like that, which I highly doubt, but it sometimes happens. And or it might just be the case of one fret that has maybe not seated correctly or just popped up over time. So I would highly recommend you checking the remaining frets just to make sure that it's only a one thing issue. So I'm going to do that, and as soon as I know or figure out how I'm going to fix the problem, then I'll be back, guys. So this was just a quick little update here.